Yo, what up, peoples? Long time no here, but I am back. You're listening to the Algo Capitalist, aka the Vulcan, coming to you live from postwavetrading.com, home of the world famous post-wave price trigger reports that we place right in your hands each and every trading day. Wow, it's good to be back. I've been missing in action for a minute with these post-wave reports, these morning reports, that is, because I've been in the lab, man. My primary focus is always to our post waivers. They get 100% of my attention first. So I've been in the lab. I've been cooking up something in the lab. I had a hunch and I wanted to dig into it. I'm afraid to really speak about it because I've noticed that when I talk about certain things, I normally see some type of almost immediate reaction. If it's not in the markets, it's with the mainstream media. I've lost count on how many times I've broken a market story, uncovered, exposed a market situation, only to have the mainstream media right after my video drop start talking about it, and in some cases even quoting me word for word. So I know that the powers that be, the elites of the world, are listening. You would think that I'm such a little teeny tiny channel. No one's listening to me. No one cares what I say. On the contrary, yes, they do. So therefore, I have to choose my words wisely, and I need to know when to shut up and when to speak. And what I have decided is that a majority of the sensitive content will be for our post waivers only. That way I don't have to worry about being tracked. I don't have to worry about any people coming after me or whatever, any crazies out there. So anything that's too potent, too powerful for social media, I have to keep that for the post waivers and our private sessions. Now, if you want to become a post waiver, all you have to do is go to postwavetrading.com. You can sign up for any one of our premium packages we got there. We have packages starting as little as $11 a month. That gets your foot in the door, gets the power of these post wave reports in your hand, and you can hit the ground making money ASAP. That's how we designed the service, so that as soon as you sign up, you watch a few tutorials and you're off to the races. We made things stupid simple. We've taken almost 30 years of trading and research and narrowed it down so the layperson who's never even so much as bought a stock or a crypto can hit this ground running and operate with confidence in these markets. Doesn't matter if you're a long-time investor, short-term investor, short-term trader, swing trader, day trader. It doesn't matter what kind of trader you are, investor you are. There is power in the pulse waves, and you can definitely augment your reality and see exponential growth like you've never seen it before. We guarantee it. That's why we offer the free trial. That's right. You get to kick the tires. You get to drive the car around the block. So if you go to postwavetrading.com, you can sign up for our free trial. That's right, free trial. We are so confident that you will be blown away with the service that we feel confident offering a free trial. Many people don't do that because they know they're like a puppy mill. They have thousands and thousands of puppies on the property. You go in, and because they're puppies, they may look cute, but what you don't know is they're not healthy. It's a puppy mill. These puppies aren't well bred and cared for. They don't come from the stock of champions. These aren't working dogs. This is a puppy mill. Well, you're going to get a dog that's sickly. They may have some type of genetic abnormality, all types of things. The dog is going to eat where he poops, all that stuff. That's what you get when you go to a puppy mill. But when you go to a reputable breeder, especially someone who breeds purebreds, you're going to get what you pay for. The puppy mill may give you a puppy for $20, but when you go to the real deal, you're not going to get the puppy for $20. You may pay $600 or more for the puppy because you're getting that high quality stock, that purebred. The puppy that when it comes to you, it's already trained. It doesn't poop where it sleeps and where it eats. It knows when it's time to go to the bathroom. It will let you know, I need to go outside. That's what you want. Just remember, you get what you pay for. Okay? That doesn't mean you have to pay absorbent amounts of money to get quality. You just have to know where to shop and know where to look, and you can get quality. With all that being said, what about these markets? Is there any quality in the markets this morning? Is anything popping off? Is anything happening worth talking about? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. First and foremost, if you will take a look at your screen, if you can see this itty bitty writing, I know most of you can't. That's understandable. I read it off to you anyway. Here's what's on and cracking in the markets. So the US dollar right now is up 16 pips. We're at the 106.84 handle. That's right, the 106 handle after dropping 2 full points. We were at the 108 handle just a day or two ago. Now we've dropped 2 full points. We're at the 106 handle when we were at 108. What about the euro? Well, the euro currency is down 23 pips. It's quiet there. It's at 102.55. We pulled back some from the 103.18 overnight high, but well off the overnight low of 102.18. So the euro is hanging in there. It's hanging in there. The Aussie right now is it's up about a pip. You're at 68.98. It's just shy of that 69 handle. Bitcoin right now is up $530 or 530 points at 23,985. The futures did top out at 24,115 in the earlier session. And it's kind of like, trading near the highs, hanging on to those gains. However, a word of caution should be given. Although Bitcoin has broken the 2 resistance zones that I gave you over a week ago, we are now in a situation where we cannot ignore that a possible pullback of gargantuan proportions could be on the table shortly. You need to remember that Bitcoin is in the long-term chart. Bitcoin is in a bull market that is going through a correction. Corrections can become deeper and turn into full-fledged bear markets, but we're a long way from that at this time. So nothing to really, be concerned about right now. However, if key intraday price inflection points are breached, we have a whole nother issue to talk about. The good news is that key intraday price inflection point is miles away from where the market is currently trading. Something humongous would have to happen to make this happen. Keep in mind, though, if it does happen, and we've seen Bitcoin move, it can move thousands of points. If this happens, that means that the bear market rally would be over. Yes, we are in a short-term bear market in Bitcoin right now. Long term, we are in a bull market correction. Short term, we're in a bear market rally. Yes, bear market. So as long as we are in that bear market configuration, the market can relock in at any time. I repeat, the market can relock in to the downside at any time. So what we do when we're counter trend trading, meaning that we're trading the opposite or against the prevailing overall long-term trend, we have to have short-term horizon, and we lock in profits. We use tight stops, and sometimes, we book gains. I like to book gains on a daily basis myself. But when you're trading against the trend, you have to be careful. You got to be mindful. All right. Letting profits run works when you are in a full-fledged, locked-in trending environment. Then you can let things ride a little bit. But when you're going against the trend, you don't know when the music is going to stop, and you don't want to be left without a seat. So you don't go in it with that kind of mindset. You're going with the mindset that I'm going to get a little here, get a little there, and just take profits along the way. Now, of course, we do that with longer term trends in the market as well, but we do it more so when we're counter trend trading, like we are doing in both Bitcoin and Ethereum futures. Okay. But like I said, this has been a powerful bear market rally. We're miles away from intraday price inflection points that would put a stop to the bear market rally. But just keep in mind, as we are going along, you don't want to get blindsided and have the reality smack you in the face of, excuse me, we're in a bear market. What did you expect? All right. I forget the term, but I remember back in driver's ed, back in high school. What's that? What do they call it when you're driving like down a long country road and it's just a straight shot for like maybe hundreds of miles, straight shot, no turning off. Quiet country road, lonely country road. What is that that you get? Something vision. I don't know what it's called. Can't think of it off the top of my head, but it's a thing you get, and you're just looking forward. You get to a point where you're not scanning like you should, right, left, back mirror, all that stuff. You just get locked in, focused. Well, you don't want that to happen when you're trading against the trend. All right. You want to be mindful of where you are. Always be mindful of your environment. You want to treat the market like it's one of the most notorious hoods in the nation. Thanks, 2020. Tunnel vision. That's right. Driver hypnosis, tunnel vision. Thank you, George, and 2020 in the live chat. Don't forget to smash that like button, too. All right. So you don't want to get tunnel vision. And it's easy. I know, especially when things are kind of quiet. It's not a lot going on. Markets are moving sideways. No real buy or sell signals per se. No primary or secondary or tertiary rally or crash alerts. So what is there to do, right? I know, I get it. Trust me. Like today, case in point. Coming in today, if you look at the Forex, the futures, and our top 3 cryptos on the DEX's watch list on your dashboard, which is Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XMR. If you look, you'll notice that there's only one security within the Forex, futures, and the 3 cryptos on my watch list that have a primary, secondary, or tertiary rally or crash alert, and that's none other than Nat Gas. Nat Gas was the only security today on my watch list report that had any kind of a alert on it. Now, mind you, we didn't get any downside production on that primary crash alert yet, but it's still something to watch for this morning. So all the other securities, there are alerts, but they're not, rally and crash alerts. So just like, for instance, you just hit a new weekly high, or you just entered into the devil's box, that kind of thing. A word on the devil's box, a brief word that is. Okay, so if you're looking at your reports and you hear me say, we're in the devil's box on a particular security, what that means is that security has either been in or is currently entering into a bubble phase. Bubble phases are notorious because in a bubble phase, a real actual bubble phase, what happens is the most obscene, outrageous, ridiculous market moves throughout history have manifested. I don't care if you're talking about the crash of 29. I don't care if you're talking about Bitcoin when it, teased at 70,000 and then just fell down and died, or if you're talking about the gold and silver panic of 2011, 2012, or if you're talking about the flash crash of May 6th of 2010, or the NASDAQ bubble bursting in early 2000, or the crash of 1987, it doesn't matter. Pick your date, pick your incident. All of those situations happened during a devil's box scenario, or what I like to call also as the market's Bermuda Triangle. It's a particular section or segment in the market that has not just critical intraday price points, but it's called the devil's box because there are some, I like to call, satanic symbols attached and associated with those events. You won't see it on any chart. You won't see it on any type of Wall Street market service because it doesn't exist. Believe me, I checked. And it's just the way it is. The algos seek and search and destroy these things out, but trying to quantify it or qualify it on a chart is impossible. All right. I think the only person that can relate to what I am saying at this point is your boy. What's his name? The one that does the Juju reports. What was it? The something box, whatever. I can't think of it right now. But he knows what I'm talking about. Certain things that come up when you're filtering language and things of that nature on online. A lot of different things. Anyway, I say all that to say that certain markets are in that state or condition right now. As a matter of fact, most markets, believe it or not, are in that position, predicament, or state as we speak. Yeah, Cliff High, that's his name, Cliff High. Thanks, Copper. Yeah, Cliff High. So you need to understand that. Now, it's funny because if you look at the grains, corn, wheat, soybeans, right? Ever since this war premium got caked into the markets, it's been bananas, trading the grains. But keep in mind, we were already in a bull market before the war broke out. The bull market just became exacerbated by the war breaking out. So you had wheat that was, had already doubled in price since 1999. Then it just decided to gallop a little bit more. And same thing with soybeans. Beans were already in the teens before the war broke out. And again, this just added war premium to that. Another interesting perspective talking about the Bermuda Triangle of markets is crude oil futures. Many of you have heard me say over the years that crude oil futures is, by every measurement, the most gangster market on the planet. Period. Hands down, no competition. I would say that the bond market will be second. The bond futures will be second. But don't ever forget, the crude oil market is the gangster. It is the Al Capone of markets. All right. What you saw when the war broke out was that it caused the crude oil market to rally to around $130 a barrel. Most people weren't paying attention when it happened. You would have thought that it would have got a lot more fanfare than it did. But crude oil did hit $130 a barrel, man. All right. That's a fact. But now something else has happened. Something interesting has happened. We've had numerous days within the last month that crude oil has moved anywhere from $7 to $10 in a day. A $10 move in crude oil was like trying to find a unicorn anywhere in the galaxy. Impossible. And it would happen every once in a Halley's Comet. All right. But now you're starting to have these Halley's Comets occur more often. Now, it ain't been 70 years. You just saw Halley's Comet yesterday. And then next week he comes back around again. And then the week after that, he comes back. There's something not right about that, right? Well, that's what crude oil has been doing. It's been acting as a reoccurring Halley's Comet. You don't get $10 moves in crude oil without war or something breaking out, which it has. But to have a $10 move beyond the outset of the announcement of proclamation of the war is also unheard of. The first Gulf War, yes, crude oil had that war premium. It just exploded. Second Gulf War, same thing. 2008, same thing. But to have the market move $10, not once, but 2-3 times in a month, there's something not right there. Now, we know that there has been a gargantuan event bigger than the war that happened in the crude oil markets that didn't happen in any other market worldwide. And that was when we saw them take crude oil futures negative $30 a barrel, and then after the close, negative $100 per barrel. They came out with a very lame excuse in the mainstream media to try to explain why that happened. However, the facts and the explanation do not explain why that happened. We have had all types of weird things happen in this world before I got here, since I've been here, and I'm sure long after I'm gone, there will be a lot of wild things that happens in these markets. But never in the history of the commodity futures exchange history have we seen a futures contract go negative $100 ever. Commodities, just by mere definition and intrinsic value perspectives, can never go to zero. The fact that something is even labeled a commodity means it has intrinsic value, and in 9 times out of 10, it has alternative uses. Okay? I can use a baseball bat to hit a home run. I can use a baseball bat to hammer in a nail in the wall. I can even use a baseball bat to mix up cake batter and make a cake. I can even use a baseball bat to bash someone's head in. Now, those are just not the limits of the baseball bat. It has other uses. Doesn't mean that it's the ideal tool to use, but you can use it. Theoretically speaking, I can use a baseball bat for dozens of alternative means other than the intended mean that it was meant for. Same thing with commodities. When you crack your crude oil, it has like 1,000 different products and things that it can be cracked into. So it doesn't just, cause your car to run, but it does a whole bunch of other things too. So how can oil, black gold, be worthless and not just zero? It's one thing for a security to go to zero. Securities go to zero all the time. Stocks can go to zero. They go to zero all the time. As a matter of fact, if a stock trades under $1 on the major exchanges for a particular amount of time, they kick it to the pink sheets, to the over the counter. It can no longer be on the big boards. Has to go. Has to pack it up. Kick bricks. All right. But we had a commodity go to zero. How can a commodity go to zero? You cannot explain that. There is no rational or logical explanation for that. And yet, there was no hearing on Capitol Hill. I would have thought that the Senate Finance Committee or somebody would have brought in the head of the CFTC and the NFA and the SEC and had a sit down and a big meeting about this and held Carter. It should have been on CNN or C-SPAN or something, because that's never happened since I've been alive. I've never even heard of that happening ever, anywhere. And they just glossed over it like it didn't happen. That would be like a nuke detonating in a major city and it not even make the news. That's basically what they did to this crude oil. They let it go negative $100 a barrel. And they came up with some lame, illogical explanation. And no one was dragged in before Congress. No one had to explain to the government why this happened and how this happened. And it happened on whose watch? No heads rolled? Are you kidding me? There's something that's not right that is happening, ladies and gentlemen, right before our eyes. And no one's talking about it. Instead, they want to talk about health. Instead, they want to talk about inflation, which is weird because for decades now, the government has been warned about inflation. The Fed has been warned about inflation. The Department of Treasury has been warned about inflation. And yet, now all of a sudden they want to talk about it. But Fed chairman after Fed chairman after Fed chairman came out and said in no uncertain terms that there is absolutely no cause for concern when it comes to inflation. It's not even on the horizon. It's nowhere in their purview, and they're not concerned about it. They've been saying it since 2006. No need for concern. Sir, are you not concerned about the housing bubble? What housing bubble? Everything is fine. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm the Fed chairperson and you're not. Dismissed. Then Peter Schiff comes up and says, guys, ladies, gentlemen, I think we're in trouble. Oh, shut up. What do you know? Your name's Peter. What can a Peter know? Ladies, gentlemen, hi. My name's Reggie Middleton. I just want to tell you I'm concerned about a couple of companies like Apple and Google, and I just want to talk to you about these things. You don't know what you're talking about. And they laughed in his face. Ha, 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 ha. You don't know what you're talking about. How can you know anything? Your skin complexion is off. It's not the right complexion. You don't have the right pigmentation of skin. You don't know what you're talking about. Sit down and shut up, boy. We could have never known that these things would happen. We could have never known. Netflix loses another 1 million subscribers. How can we know? We didn't know that people were going to get tired of us and leave. You didn't know. Really? Did you even bother to talk to even one customer and ask them what do they want? What do they like? What do they need? Never. They have not. So let's break down what's happening with Netflix. See, during the forced under the cover of violence lockdowns that we had. And yes, I'm not exaggerating. We were locked down, not just as a nation, but as a world. They locked down the global economy, not the local economy, the global economy under the threat of violence. Some people actually did receive physical violence upon their persons for violating said curfews. All right. And so Netflix benefited from the forced lockdown. People were forced to stay locked in their homes with nothing to do but watch Netflix all day. Netflix and chill became Netflix and stay chilling. And they got a bump. People were like, well, there's nothing else to do, so I'm going to go ahead and get a Netflix subscription and binge watch some things that I've always wanted to watch and never had time to watch. Let me go ahead and do that real quick. Let's make that happen. So Netflix was like, yes, it's Christmas. Look at all these new subscribers. We are blowing up. They were popping champagne bottles and popping corks and celebrating and high-fiving, buying boats and yachts and mansions and Rolexes and $1 million watches. CEO getting broke off. Life is good. We have 7 billion people on the planet Earth that are locked in their homes, that are being forced to watch Netflix. The governments of the world basically just gave Netflix an early Christmas gift. Merry Christmas, Netflix. Then other apps got in on it. And they were like, hey, Netflix is blowing up. They got 8 zillion, gazillion, fulfillion, billion, million, chameleon customers. I want some of that. So then Disney was like, you know what, Netflix? Forget you. We beefing now. You ain't my friend no more. Give me back my bicycle. Give me my ball. I'm going home. And they said, we're going to come up with our own streaming service. Matter of fact, we're taking all of our videos off of Netflix and we're going to put them on our Disney app. That's what we're going to do. Nah. And they started treating Netflix like Netflix had cooties. And all these apps started getting in on it. And you had all these former cable channels saying, hey, I see there's gold in them there hills. Why don't we become an app? And why don't we become our own Netflix? If Netflix can be Netflix, surely we can be Netflix. We have our own original content going back decades. Why not? So every cable channel became an app, and every app became a subscription. So now everybody wants subscription. So can you imagine the people back in the mid to late 1980s that had the big satellite dishes that was bragging about 500 channels? Can you imagine if all 500 channels now say, hey, we're apps and we're a subscription? Instead of paying one subscription and getting 500 channels, now you got to pay 500 subscriptions if you want each and every one of these channels. Well, that's basically what happened. While no one was looking, while no one was watching, Barack Obama and Donald Trump, that's right, you guys voted for both of these guys. They let the cable companies write their own laws. And then you had the fairness doctrine and all these other doctrines and laws come into effect that allowed the cable TV channels to decouple from cable and make their own apps while staying with cable. Yeah, you can still watch TMZ. You can still watch the History Channel. You can still watch sci-fi. You can still watch HBO, but did you know we have an HBO Max now? Yeah, we got HBO Max, player. You can watch that Disney movie that just came on cable, but you know, we got Disney Plus. You know that? It's an app. That's right. Disney Plus. So all these apps came into being. Everyone was having a great time. Hulu finally came into its own. You know, Hulu was one of the first people out there, and a lot of their content, pretty much all of their content, when they first came out. Remember, when they first came out, everything was free. It was free. You could watch all this stuff on Hulu for free. Of course, they had ads and stuff, but Hulu was free. We should have known it was just a matter of time before they said, hey, we're an app now. We're a channel. We are a channel. Give me your money. But they didn't just be like Netflix. You know, like Netflix said, you know, when Netflix first started out, it was like $6 a month or $8 a month, something like that. Nah, Hulu said, give me $30 a month. That's our lowest package, $30 a month. Everything else is the same as a cable subscription. So Hulu was like, nah, you're going to break us off. So now you got all these apps. You got all these subscriptions. You got all these channels now being independent, but also a collective. Did you know that when the prior two presidents allowed this to happen with these backroom lobbying deals, that something more nefarious came out of it as well? It's not that it's just that you have a zillion choices, because, you know, people say choice is good. We want you to have choice. Now you can decide what channel you want, what app you want, and it has all this content on it. Even BET got into it. Yeah, BET Plus app. We got all your black content. We got it all. We got everything from gospel music to Tyler Perry's 575 different TV shows he got. All right. Hardest working man in show business. The man has more TV shows than even Shonda Rhimes had in her peak. All right. You can get it. But did you know, ladies and gentlemen, did you know that there's a secret? And I haven't heard anyone talk about it. You want to know why? Because people like to keep secrets secret. That's why it's called a secret. If you tell someone, then it's no longer a secret. So guess what? I'm going to spill the beans right here live on July 20th, 2022. I'm going to share with you a reality that you knoweth not. See, I'm nosy. I ask a lot of questions. I always want to know why this, why that. I was the kid that adults hated to have around because I was going to ask 10,000 questions. And then my questions had questions. And then those questions led to more questions. And I had even more questions. And the questions never stopped. They became more aggressive. Before you could answer me, I had 6 more questions behind that question. And I know I was an irritating little kid, but I wanted to know. I hungered and thirsted for knowledge. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with wanting to know, wanting to understand? I'm extremely nosy when it comes to things, especially the things that I'm interested in. If I'm not interested, then I don't care. But the things that I'm interested in, look out. I'm nosy. So here's the truth, ladies and gentlemen. The truth is, there is no truth. You live in a world of lies. For whatever reason, I don't know people's motives. I can only tell you what is happening, the facts, the evidence admissible in a court of law. There is no truth. In the United States of America, not only is the country built on lies, but it lies about everything. Your government lies to you about everything. And this is one of them. The illusion of choice. You have no choice. When you go to the grocery store, you think you have choice. You see 30 different flavors of potato chips, and you see a few brands on there. You be like, man, all these different choices. I am just overwhelmed with choice. Which potato chip do I choose? And what you don't know is that it is a large conglomerate. All the chips in your store may be owned by one company, even though you see all these different companies listed there. Then you got your off-brand, no-brand potato chips. But what you don't know is they're also owned by the big boy. You didn't know that Lay's owns this company. They own the little owl. They own all these different brands. That's how they roll. Okay. That's how they roll. So you don't have a choice with these apps. What do you mean? I do too. I dropped my Netflix subscription because I signed on to Hulu and I get more choices and more channels. And what are you talking about? Now, I know why you would think that, because again, you have the illusion of choice. It looks like Netflix is not offering you as much as Hulu, blah, blah, blah. Here's the dirty little secret, ladies and gentlemen. There is no choice. All of these big companies have gotten together and written their own law and legislation that the government has approved and allowed so that they can monopolize your viewing. They control your viewing. At once upon a time, if I couldn't find a particular movie on cable, I could always go and find it on Netflix, or I could find it on Amazon Prime. Guaranteed, hands down, no problem. All right. Then a turn of events happened. Then suddenly I started seeing what I wanted to watch on cable, but they wanted me to rent the video. Now, you're already paying cable hundreds of dollars a month if you have the Platinum Diamond package, where you get like all the channels and you get the top tier, highest internet they got, broadband. You get all this. You're paying hundreds of dollars, but that's not good enough. Now they want you to go ahead and they want you to rent the really good movies. The whack movies are free, but if you want to see the good movies, you have to rent them. What do you mean rent? I'm paying you hundreds of dollars a month. What are you talking about? I can't. What? Now remember, cable came out with the on-demand feature, so that movies that you may have missed in rotation, for those that don't know anything about cable, the way cable works is that they have a zillion channels, and each channel has a playlist, sort of like a radio station, where they have a playlist of movies. And these movies are on a cycled rotation. So let's just say Forrest Gump. You want to watch Forrest Gump, it comes on at 2 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and 6 p.m. in the evening. If you can't watch it at any one of those times, oh, well, too bad. So sad for you. But then you had the VHS beta competition in war with VHS won because it had more friends in high places than beta. So beta went away. And now you can record said movie when it comes on. You can set and program your VCR to go ahead and record that. Well, fast forward, cable companies say, hey, we got new technology, new boxes. If you want to record a movie, you can record a movie. You don't need to use a VHS machine anymore. All right. So then they stepped the game up even more. Fast forward now to the current place. Now you can not only still record movies that you want to see, but they also have the on-demand feature so that you can go and any movie that you don't have the time to watch when it's in rotation, you can go ahead and watch it anytime you want through on-demand. You pay the cable company a few more dollars, and then you get that on-demand feature. Now, what they did was they took all the on-demand, everything was dumped into on-demand, and it was just there for you. It was the cable company's way of saying, we like you, we care about you. But then they say, stop, wait a minute. Why should you be able to watch an on-demand HBO video when you don't even have the HBO package? So if you want to watch the HBO on demand, you got to pay for the HBO package. So they said, okay, we're going to be slick. We're going to make all the different movies and stuff that are in the on-demand part of the cable packages. So if you don't have Cinemax, you don't have HBO, blah, 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 well, then you're not going to get those on demand. All right. So as you can see, the evolution of jamming you up, the evolution of cable greed as it has evolved over time. But now it's even more nefarious than that. People learn to live with all that other stuff. They say, okay, it's not a problem. I don't care. But this is where you're in trouble. Because what you don't know is, if I want to see Forrest Gump and I search it for it on cable, I find the movie, bam, there it is. Yay, I'm ready to watch it. No, so fast the cable company says you need to rent this for $5.99 if you want to watch it. We'll let you watch it for $5.99, or you can buy it for whatever the price is. And I'll be like, bump that. I got an Amazon Prime membership and I got a Netflix membership. I'm going to go on over to Netflix and pull it up. Guess what happens? There is no Forrest Gump on Netflix. Okay, fine. I'll watch it on Prime. Go to Prime. Boop. Sorry, there is no Forrest Gump. Now, there was a time when if the cable company said, nah, you got to break me off $5.99 if you want to see Forrest Gump, that I could go to Netflix and watch it there for free. Or I could go to Amazon Prime and watch it there for free. Nope. During your last 8 years of presidency, they allowed the cable companies to rewrite their own laws and rules and regulations. And guess what? They all work together now. So that if the cable company says, nah, you got to break me off a piece if you want to watch this Forrest Gump movie, it's not going to be available on Netflix. And it's not going to be available on Amazon Prime. However, since Amazon is also a sales depot, they may have it there for you to buy it as well, and or rent as well. So it used to be, whatever company scored the best lineup deals, so be it. Not anymore. All the studios and stuff have gotten together, and now they have monopolized how this works. So one person won't be able to have it on their lineup for free, while the other ones have it for pay. It's either you're going to pay for this or you're not getting it. Doesn't matter how many subscriptions you have. Doesn't matter how many apps you've downloaded. You can have Disney Plus, HBO Plus, you can have Cinemax, you can have Showtime, you can have all the channels you want. But if there's something that you want to watch that's for rent on any one of those devices, you will not see it on a free lineup like Netflix. Nope. But that, ladies and gentlemen, is the big, dirty little secret. They've gotten together and they've monopolized the lineup content. And all the studios are in with them, in on it as well. All right? That's what you're seeing now. Yes, it is a way to milk you like never before. They have finally figured out a way to control everything that you see and everything that you hear. And they put it behind a paywall. So Netflix has become extremely limited on what it can show people for free. That's why they're losing millions of subscribers. Because people figured out their own little algorithm, their own little cheat code to the Netflix hustle. They would go on, if there was a show that Netflix had that they wanted to binge watch, they would go ahead, get a subscription, binge watch it, and then cancel their subscription. So Netflix said, nah, not so fast. You ain't playing me. You winning too much in this casino, player. They put your face up on the wall. So when you come in the casino, the big 7-foot-tall bodyguards meet you at the door and say, turn back around. All right? You winning too much at the slot machine. We got to watch you. So now Netflix said, nah, we're going to put a stop to this. Now, instead of allowing you to binge watch shows, we're only going to release a season at a time or a few episodes at a time. And what Netflix would be famous for is that they would come out with a new Netflix original, but they would only put one season out. Now, that season can have 6 episodes. That season can have 12 episodes. Or it could be a limited series with only 2 or 3 or 4 episodes. All right, that's what they do. Well, because that's always been kind of like their blueprint, they said, okay, how can we maximize our blueprint? Okay, so instead of putting out that one season that has 12 episodes, We'll just put out 6 episodes of that. We'll cut the season in half. We'll put out 6 episodes now, and we will not announce when the next 6 are coming. That way, you'll be too scared to cancel your subscription. Because if you cancel your subscription, you may miss the rest of the season of that show you wanted to see. Now, you would be like, well, no. Some people would just still cancel after the first couple of episodes, and then they'll just keep coming back and checking. But see, they got something for you because they knew that you was going to think about doing that. Again, I told you, it's a dirty little secret. They got something for you, player. You ain't going to be able to pimp this one. No, you not. Want to know why? Because after you watch those, let's say it's one season only, it's 12 episodes. They're still working on the season 2, 3, whatever. Instead of releasing the 12 episodes, they're going to release 6. And you'll say, well, I'll cancel after the 6 and come back. Nope. No, you won't. Want to know why? Because not only do you not know when they're going to place the next 6 episodes, but they got another little dirty secret that they don't tell you, and that is that can go away at any time. Case in point, how you going to call yourself a streaming service? Especially, I'm ashamed of Netflix with this, but how are you going to call yourself a streaming service and demand all this money per month from your subscribers, but then you take away the most iconic TV shows of all time? Peep this. You can no longer watch Star Trek on Netflix. You can no longer watch The Twilight Zone on Netflix. Who does that? You can no longer watch. I'm getting choked up. How do you take away Star Trek and Twilight Zone, the 2 most iconic TV shows of all time? Not only were they ahead of their time, they are the most iconic shows of all time. Movies and other TV show spinoffs all come from those 2 programs. Star Trek and Twilight Zone has birthed more content than any other TV show series in history. All types of movies came from Star Trek and came from Twilight Zone. How do you take those away from your viewers in mid-watch? I was only on season 3 of Star Trek, and I got the message. This will no longer be available as of 15 minutes from now. Come on, really? Really, Netflix? And you wonder why you're losing millions of subscribers? You took away Twilight Zone and Star Trek. What's wrong with you? Who raised these people? Come on, man. I don't understand. Guess what else they just took away from me? You ain't gonna believe this one either. They took away what's the one? Man, what's the name? I was just watching it too. What was that? The one with the Criminal Minds. There you go. They just took away Criminal Minds. That was the latest victim on the chopping block. Another iconic show. They took away Criminal Minds. Really? How can you do that? So they're losing iconic content. You're losing the goats of your content. No wonder you're losing millions of subscribers. You're not giving the people what the people want. But yet they keep dumb shows and dumb content on there forever. Forever. I don't understand. And I'm not taking anything away from these other shows, but they're not Star Trek. They're not the Twilight Zone. What's wrong with you? How do you still have Wentworth and Orange is the New Black available on Netflix, but you don't have Star Trek and the Twilight Zone? What is wrong with you, Netflix? What's wrong with you? I don't understand. So this is the problem that companies, especially companies in America, face. They focus so much on money and profits and they don't even have a second thought on their product. It used to be that your name was everything. Companies spent billions of dollars so that they can have a good reputation in the communities that they serve and operate in. Your reputation, your name meant something. No one wanted negative press. They were willing to bend over backwards not to have negative press. We will do whatever it takes to have good press. We don't want it to be said that our product is inferior, that our product is whack. When did the United States of America start accepting whackness as normal? Did you know there was a time when American made meant something? There was a time when an American product was synonymous with quality. Quality. Ford was the man on the block. If you was driving a Ford, you knew you was driving quality. But somewhere down the line, Ford became synonymous with fix or repair daily. It became the norm. It was okay. They became okay with that. Now everything that is American made, for the most part, is whack. I'm not saying all American made products. I'm just saying most of the American made products. But then something else happened, ladies and gentlemen. Another trend happened. And now it's worldwide, where no one takes pride in the quality of their products. Nobody. Nobody. I don't care who it is. Even your high-end stuff. I don't care if it is a Louis Vuitton bag or a Chanel bag. Quality is the last thing on their mind. I don't understand. And it goes for anything, not just automobiles, not just your streaming service provider who doesn't care about their lineup. You would think that if you're a content provider, you're a streaming service like Netflix, that you would bend over backwards, do whatever you had to do to have the superior content. To say we have more hit shows on our platform than any other platform. We should see commercials put out by Netflix bragging about their content prowess and how they got the sickest, illest content. We should see them bashing each other. Remember, we used to see battles. Companies will battle. You should see Netflix like, man, you messed up. This is what you get when you go to Amazon Prime. Boring. But you come over to Netflix, yay, roller coaster rides and cotton candy and kids on Ferris wheels. You don't see commercials like that. I wonder why that is. You don't see Amazon Prime with a commercial. See, we got the illest, sickest content. You want to know why the Amazon Prime is so dope? This is what you get with Amazon Prime. Not only do you get all these iconic TV shows and great movies, man, we even put YouTube on there. You can watch, social media video content on here. Some of your favorite YouTubers got content on Amazon Prime. That's right. You want to come over here. Come to Prime, baby. Nope, you don't see that commercial. That commercial does not exist. Disney Plus, you should see them saying, yo, Netflix, they all right. Amazon Prime, they all right. Hulu, they all right. But here at Disney Plus, relive your childhood with all of these iconic movies that you remember from childhood. And they show you all the little Mickey Mouses and all the little Goofies and all the Cinderella and the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and, unicorns and rainbows. and saying, don't go to those other platforms. Come over here. Relive your childhood with us. You don't see that. Where's that commercial? It doesn't exist. You want to know why it doesn't exist? Because there's no competition. All of these companies I just named are in bed together, doing business together in agreement with one another. That's why. That's why. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no competition. And if there's no competition, that means you really don't have choice. There is no choice. You get one platform, you just bought them all because they're all the same. They might as well be one company at this point. All right, the Streaming Guild of America, the Streaming Guild, the Universal Streaming Guild of the World, of the universe.com, because that's what they are. You do not have choice because you do not have competition. And that is the problem. Therein lies the rub. And you don't have competition because no one cares about the quality of their products. That's a problem. Nintendo, for example, knew about Joy-Con drift before they even made the Nintendo Switch. But they put it out there anyway. And to this day, Joy-Con drift is a problem. It is a problem. Now you say, "Oh, they fixed it because they came out with with the lesser version of the Switch. You can go and you can get the Switch that doesn't have Joy-Cons. The Joy-Cons are built into the device. You don't have to worry about that." Wrong answer. It has Joy-Con drift too, but it's worse. Want to know why? Because if you get Joy-Con drift on the lower model, you got to replace the whole model. At least on the higher end Switch model, if I get Joy-Con drift, I can easily go and buy a new set of Joy-Cons. Problem solved. But that's not the issue. The issue is there should be no Joy-Con drift at all, period. They don't care. This problem has existed since the device has been on the market, and we still have the same problem. They don't care. And while we're on the subject of consoles and gaming, Xbox and PlayStation are no better. Why do you say this? Okay, well, first of all, I'll give Xbox their props. At least they made an effort towards backwards compatibility. Sony, on the other hand, with their PlayStation, has no backwards compatibility. Now, I know what you're going to say. You're wrong, Dex. That's not true because, the original PlayStation 3, has backwards compatibility. I'm not talking about the original PlayStation 3. What about your PlayStation 4 and your PlayStation 5? And even with the PlayStation 3, it's only one product that had it. The rest of them don't have it. Or if they do, it's extremely limited. I mean real backwards compatibility. If I have a PlayStation 4, I should be able to play every PlayStation, prior to that. On a PlayStation 4, I should be able to play every PlayStation 3 game, every PlayStation 2 game, every PlayStation 1 game. No problem. Put in the disc and away we go. No problem. And on their Play Store, all of those games should be digitized so that if I want digital, I could be able to download a PlayStation 1 or 2 game onto my PlayStation 4. If you don't have a PlayStation 4, you have a PlayStation 3, then every PlayStation 2 and every PlayStation 1 game should be able to work in there. Pop the disc in, play it. Or if you want the digital copy, go to the Play Store and download all the PlayStation 3, all the PlayStation 2, and all the PlayStation 1 games. Have at it. But no. Is there a logical or reasonable explanation for this? No. They don't care. They would make 10 times as much money as they make now if they did that. And they still won't do it. Think about it. If you owned a PlayStation 1 and you no longer have a PlayStation 1, but you remember those games from your childhood and you want to play those games, well, if you don't have a PlayStation 1, you can't play those games. Unless, of course, you have an emulator. But other than that, you're not playing those games. Well, wouldn't it be great that if you had a PlayStation 3 or 4 or even a 5, that you can go into the Play Store and go through the PlayStation 1 catalog and find the game you want and download it and play it? Wouldn't that be great? Do you know that 99.9% of all people would actually be willing to buy the game all over again just to play it on their PlayStation 5 or their PlayStation 4? Does Sony care about that? Nope. Oh, it's too hard to do that. No, it's not. Microsoft is doing it. They have backwards compatibility. But that's not that. See, Microsoft doesn't have a problem with the backwards compatibility. Microsoft has a problem with this online Play Pass thing that it is getting people a little hot under the collar. But that's a separate issue. I'm just talking about just in general, just off of principle. You should think about your products, but they're not thinking about their products. They're thinking about their money. And that's a problem. It's not all their problem. It's 99% their problem, but the 1% goes to Wall Street. Because, see, there's so much pressure when you're a publicly traded company to turn out a profit for your people. And if you don't, well, then there's heck to pay. So that kind of goes against, it's counterproductive at times to putting out superior products because you have time frames, time constraints. You got deadlines. You don't just have all day to do something and come up with a product. They want to see profits turned immediately. The way it is structured, if you don't have profit every year that exceeds the prior year's profits, you're failing. According to Wall Street, you are failing. If I made $1 million profit on this day last year, but this day this year, I've only made $900,000 in profits, they would say that I'm slipping. They would say, you're messing up. You're playing yourself. You're hustling backwards. What's wrong with you? They say you're failing because you're not going higher. If you made $1 million this same day last year, you should be at least $1,000,001 right now, today. And it's not. That's not always conducive with putting out superior products and services. It's counterproductive. Instead of focusing on profits, you should be focusing on your customer, focusing on the people that buy your profits. But the way the business models are set up, it's not set up to give people what they want. It's set up for you to make as much profit as possible. And to me, that's hustling backwards. That's messing up. That's falling off. Because there is a principle, ladies and gentlemen, whether you people want to embrace it or not is another story, but there is a principle here. And that's called consequences and repercussions. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. One of the consequences and ramifications and repercussions of this flawed model of focusing on money first and then your product is that eventually you're going to fail. All right? But the real focus should be product first, product and customer first, profit second. That's the correct business model. Because again, consequences, ramifications, repercussions. What are the consequences, ramifications, and repercussions of focusing on your product first and your customer first before focusing on profits? Well, the consequence, ramification, and repercussions of doing it that way is that you're going to make a lot of money. and you're going to do it consistently because you're putting your product and the people first. Now, those that don't understand, well, do you know that that is the way that America used to operate? Believe it or not, during the industrial period of America, it was all about product and quality of product first. It was all about the product. It was all about market share and product. If you want greater market share, then you need to produce a better product. That's how that worked. All right. The consequences of focusing on product and people first, the consequence of that is you're going to make a lot of money. The consequences of focusing on money first before your product and before the people is eventually you're going to go broke, you're going to go bankrupt, you're going out of business. All right? That's a fact. You're seeing it now. I disagree with you on that, Dex. Really? Then explain Netflix losing millions of subscribers. I just explained to you why they're losing subscribers. I gave it to you in intimate detail. Now I'm giving you the theory behind it as well. They focused on money instead of product and the people. We need to get back to product and people. Forget the money. The money will take care of itself. Just put forth an amazing product. Anyone can blow up in any line of business if they use those principles. All right? Product and people. Your business model is a simple one. You ready? Here it is. I don't care what your business is. Business model is this. You want to put forth a superior product at a competitive price backed by outstanding customer service. Those are the pillars of a profitable and amazing company. A company that does that is a company that's going to stay in business for a long time without having to lobby the government to make you successful. Because that's what we've been seeing. That's the trend in America after the industrial period. Now we lobby the government to pass laws to keep us a monopoly and to keep us from failing, to keep us from having to deal with competition. That's not how you win. That's how you cheat, and even then, you're going to still fail. So again, what is the 3 pillars of success in business? What is the 3 pillars? What is that business model? The 3 pillars of the successful business model? Superior product, meaning you're putting forth the best product on the market in your industry. Then you're backing that up with competitive pricing. You're not price gouging, but you're charging what it's worth, and people are willing to pay for it because of the superiority of your product, the quality of your product. And then third, you're backing it up with outstanding customer service. If there's a problem, people can reach out to you, you fix it, you make them happy, you make people whole. That is the 3 pillars of profitable, successful business. Doesn't matter what your business is. I don't care if you clean carpets or if you're an auto mechanic. Doesn't matter what you do. If that is your business model, you will succeed. Focus on your product. Focus on the people that you serve, and the money will figure itself out. It always does. You have no choice but to succeed. All right? That is what America needs to get back to if America wants to be great again when it comes to commerce, when it comes to business, when it comes to economy. That's why America has fallen off, because it started focusing on greed. It became too easy to have friends in high places that force money into your coffers. That's not business. That's cheating. That's manipulation. That's conspiracy. That's not business. That's not an equal playing field. So that's what America needs to do to get out of this rut. Now, here's why I'm not hopeful about it. America has known what it needs to do now for decades, and it hasn't even budged 1 inch toward rectifying the situation. So I know they're not going to do it. There's no incentive for them to do it. Not when you have the government protecting you. As long as you do what the government wants you to do, you do the government's bidding, they will protect you and have your back. It's just that simple. The corporations have become extensions of the U.S. government to the point where you don't know where the U.S. government begins and the corporation ends. That is what you have seen before you. It's a corporatocracy. All right? It is what it is. And the sooner people start waking up to it, the better. The only thing that can at least start to turn the tide is if people, start demanding certain things. When the people don't demand anything, then they don't see incentive to change. But you vote with your wallet. Now, Netflix is being forced to change because people are voting with their wallet. They're voting to leave Netflix. But this is why Netflix is probably going to end up failing, because their response to the people leaving is, okay, we're going to come out with some cheaper content that has ads. You haven't even addressed the issue of why people are leaving. So you think people are leaving because they want to watch ads and you're not letting them? You think people are leaving because they think that you're charging too much? So if you give them a cheaper service and then they have to watch ads, they'll stay? No. That is not logical, and it's not rational or reasonable. The reason they're saying, hey, I think this is what we'll do, the cured thing, is because you're thinking of money again. See, they're still focusing on money. What do you mean? How are they still focusing on money when they just said they're going to give you a cheaper service that has ads? That's not thinking about money. That is thinking about your customer. Wrong. If you believe that, that means you have not broken your programming. You're still asleep. You're not woke. You're not economically woke. So let me unwake you. Let me shake you up. Their solution has nothing to do with superior product. Their solution has nothing to do with competitive pricing. Their solution has nothing to do with putting the customer service or giving outstanding customer service. Their solution has to do with money. What they're saying to you, if you wake up, you'll hear it. What they're saying to you, sir, ma'am, is we're okay with you leaving. We know you're not coming back. And we don't care. Do you? And we're going to do us. So to make up for the loss in revenue, our solution is coming with a cheaper product by way of pricing to the customer, but it's going to make us even more money because now we're going to be able to sell advertising. Do you know the money that they will make off of selling advertising? That's why they don't care that the customers are leaving. They can stay gone. They're gonna start making that advertising dollar. They don't care. They're letting you know right now, we don't care about you. We don't care about your feelings. We don't care about your wants, your likes, your desires, your hopes, your dreams. We care about money. And the fact that you've left now opens the door so that we can make even more money by selling advertising. And ladies and gentlemen, do not get tricked, because this is a manipulative trick. All Hear my words. All of the other streaming services are going to follow suit. Mark my words. Everyone is going to do exactly what Netflix is about to do. Because it's not about the customer. It's about money. Do you really think that Netflix is going to be the only streaming service that now offers a subscription with ads? No. All the apps are going to do it. Because now it's in vogue again to play ads. It's what they wanted all along. And yes, Lowrider said it best in the live chat. It's basically TV all over again. Yes, call it cable 2.0. And who wins? They do, not you. The people lose again. Because now they done brought you full circle. They took away regular TV from you, made you go electronic and digital. Now they're bringing it right back again. So now but except for this time, you're paying for TV. Regular TV was free, but now you're going to be paying to watch TV. No more such thing as free TV. Now do you get it? Now are you starting to wake up and put the boxes together? You seeing the full picture now? Is the TV screen coming in clear? Do you see the Technicolor now, live in Technicolor? You see that? That's what's happening right now. Lowrider, you're right. We could stop watching it and throw the darn thing out the window. But let's be honest, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We ain't fixing to do that, man. You know you're gonna watch your favorite flicks on there. Like I said, Twilight Zone and Star Trek. Come on, man. How you gonna take that away? How you gonna take that away? You're right. It is called programming for a reason. Oh my goodness. Oh man, Jane, they making you pay for it already in Germany? Say it ain't so. Wow. 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 Hey, things are going the way they're going, folks. So we got to wake up to what they're doing. And all this comes back around. Now, you would think that I've gotten off on a tangent. You would think that I went off on a rant. You would think that this, hey, Dex, I thought you were the algo capitalist, the Vulcan. This has nothing to do with the markets. Yes, it does. It has everything to do with the markets. Because the last time I checked, there was a stock called Netflix. And it still is. Most of these streaming service providers and apps are traded on the exchanges. Is Disney not a tradable stock? Is Amazon not a tradable stock? Is Sony and Nintendo not tradable stocks? Of course they are. Watch and mark my words. All the other providers are going to do the same thing. And truth be told, they already are. Your cable provider does it all the time. And you didn't even know it. You didn't even realize it. People are like, oh, that's not true, Dex. I'll prove it to you right now. For those that live in because things are broken down by region, country, state, municipality. Anyone who lives in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, I double dog dare you to try this. If you have Comcast as your cable provider, Comcast/Xfinity, do this. Go to On Demand. Pick any show. How about this one? Better Call Saul right now is on and popping. Go ahead and try to go in the On Demand and pull up the current season to watch it. Here's what they do to you. It'll say, oh, by the way, you're in luck. Mr. or Mrs. Blockhead, you're in luck. We'll let you watch Better Call Saul for free. All you have to do is click which way you want to watch. You can watch it here on cable channel. You can watch it on Hulu. You can watch it on Amazon Prime. You can watch it on Pluto TV. Choose which method you want to do to watch it. So you go ahead and click your desired output method. And here's what you don't know until you push the play button. First thing that comes up on the screen is a commercial. That's right. You get to watch it for free because it's full of commercials. Now, you can fast forward the commercials, but how many people are going to do that? Because there's no checkpoints on the stream showing you where the commercials are. Now, on certain TV shows, they have it. These yellow lines that if you hit fast forward, the screen will fast forward to that line checkpoint and then stop and then resume with the show right after it does it for you. You get to skip the commercials. But they got hip to that. So the majority of the shows don't have that fast forwarding feature like that with those yellow lines where you can fast forward the commercial and it'll stop and then pick up right back to the show. No, it's they do it to force you to watch the commercials. It's free after all, but really it's not free because you're paying the cable subscription. You know, it's like when you want to go shopping, you go to the mall and you say, "What's on sale?" I'm going to see what's on sale. See, in America, they use these Jedi mind tricks, and they play with words. They change the meaning of words. All right? When you go to the mall and say, "I want to see what's on sale," I don't care if you're going on Christmas Eve. I don't care if you're going the day after Christmas. I don't care if it's Labor Day shopping. I don't care what the holiday is. There's no such thing as a sale when you go to the mall to shop. Everything's on sale. Every day they're selling you something. So to say, "Oh, this is on sale today," is deceitful and misleading. It's not for sale. It's not on sale today. It's on sale every day. Duh. Come to our men's sale, our women's sale at this store, that store, toddler sale, baby sale, this sale. Everything's on sale. You're in sales. What are you talking about? "Oh, this is on sale today." It's on sale every day. But see, they twist the meaning of the word sale so that when you hear the word sale in your brain, you're thinking discount. Discount. The word sale does not mean discount. When you say something is on sale, you mean that I'm selling it. This item is available for purchase. That's what the word sale means. So the next time you hear a commercial saying so-and-so is on sale, duh, it's on sale every day, regardless of the holiday. What they mean to say is discount. But the reason that you don't hear commercials saying, "Come on down to such and such and such and such, we're having a huge discount," you don't hear the word discount. You hear the word sale. Because sale gets everyone in the door. They've made the word sale synonymous with the word discount, but that's not what they mean. They just want to get the bodies in the door. It's only until you get into the door of the store that you realize nothing's on discount. Or if something is discounted, it's discounted to such a minute amount that it's not even worth it. You don't even mind paying whatever the full sticker price is because it's not worth it. It's not really a sale. They just got you in the store. And they use all kind of tricks. Sometimes they will raise the price of an item only to discount it to the price that they really want to sell it anyway. So let's say your MSRP price on this particular TV is $2,000, right? and then it says, but the retail price is $2,500. So the store is going to pay $2,000 from the manufacturer for the TV, and they're going to sell it for $2,500. Right? Here's what they do. They want to really sell the TV to you for, let's say, $2,700. So this is what they'll do. They'll say, this TV was $3,100, but now you get this TV for $2,880. You be like, oh shoot, I'm saving like $200. Yeah, I'm gonna get that. Little do you know is all they did was jack the price up and then discount the jacked up price to equal the price that they always sell it at anyway. But people who don't shop at a particular place regularly don't know that. You don't know that XYZTV.com, that this particular TV is always $2,800. Always. So what they'll do, so they don't get in trouble with the law, they'll raise the price and then discount it and say, sticker price $3,100, it's on sale now for $2,800. You're running there, you buy the TV thinking you got a deal when you didn't. What you didn't know, and if you do so happen to come back into the store a few months later on, where they're not having a quote-unquote sale, you'll see that the TV's price, sticker price, is exactly what you paid for it when you got that sale price. So when you hear a commercial that something is on sale, ignore it. It's not on sale. It's on sale every day. They're in the business of sales. The product is available for purchase every day. Sale means available for purchase. Discount means a slash in prices. You don't hear them advertising the word discount. You hear them advertising the word sales, because in the United States of America, everything is a lie. Everything is a lie. Even the commercials are a lie. The average car commercial is a lie, because someone decided that when you sell cars to the public, you have to include certain characteristics. And so, since the government says you have to do it, the companies said, you know what? Okay, I found the way around it. I found the way now where instead of this commercial costing us 10 times as much, because we got to add all these different disclaimers, we're going to hire a professional speed reader to say it real fast. So the average car commercial is ridiculous. And it's insane, and it's stupid, and it always has been, and it's annoying. Because after the guys say, hey, we got this, and we're going to sell you this, and you get this, we're going to throw this in, the high-pitched animated character. And then right at the end, you hear the guy say, .com. And you're like, what? How is this not laughable? But every commercial is like that, because the government had gotten involved and said, nope, you got to say this and that. So now with every ad for the car, you got to hear that. And the way around it for the companies was to hire a speed reader. The government said I had to say it. They didn't say I had to say it at a certain speed. So they hired a speed reader, and their speed reader says it all 5 million words in 5 seconds. That way they can say, I gave you the disclaimer. If you didn't catch every word that he said, that's not my fault. The government just said I had to say it. So the government has gotten in here and muddied the waters even more, because now for a lot of products and services, you have to, by law, include these disclaimers in your advert. And that just makes it even worse. And they find ways around it. Another one is healthcare. So now when you're watching a commercial for healthcare, or you're listening to a commercial for healthcare on your radio, the law says now that they have to list all the known side effects. Not every side effect, not the contradictions, but all the known side effects. And so they found a way around it. They found a way to give the government what they want and it not costing them with the people, with the listener. Have you noticed a pattern in your commercials? I know, I told you, I'm a nosy person. I look for patterns in everything. Well, there's one pattern that all the pharmaceutical companies have in common. You would think they hire the same person to read their disclaimers. What do you notice about commercials now that have to do with prescription drugs? The music sounds the same. What they do is they make sure that when they're showing a commercial that you're watching, it's different than the one that you're hearing on the radio, because you can't see the radio, but you can hear. So they combine the two effects together, so that if you're watching this commercial on your television set, it's going to have a different effect than if you were just listening to it on the radio in the car. So here's how it works. So the commercial, the visual aspect of the pharmaceutical commercial will have incredible lighting, and it will have vibrant, bright, and light colors. If you notice, the person's always wearing either, if it's not pastel or some other bright color, they may even be wearing white. They're set, it's always like a summertime or a beautiful spring day. They're outdoors most often. Whatever the target audience is, they're going to make sure they put every single stereotype with that target audience in the advert. So if their particular target is the elderly, they're going to make sure they show elderly playing with the grandkids. It's going to be a beautiful spring morning or summer, and they're out there throwing the frisbee, or and you see someone, washing the car. They very specific, but it's always full of light and brightness. All right, that's what you're going to see. But now, what are you going to hear? What you see is different than what you hear. When you're visually watching the advert, it's full of light and brightness, because that triggers something in the average brain. But what you're hearing is doing something else in the brain. And here's this one. It's usually a female voice actor that is reading the commercial. And the way the female voice actor reads the script, it's in a whispering voice. It's in a calm and soothing voice. The voice reminds you of your mother when you were 5 years old, and she would tuck you in at night and read you a bedtime story. It's a soft, firm, gentle voice that reminds you of your grandmother. It reminds you when you would stay over at grandma's, and she would make you your favorite chocolate chip cookies. She baked them fresh in the oven. You could smell the aroma. You can hear her soft and loving voice speaking to you. You can visualize grandma sitting in the rocking chair, knitting. She's making you a sweater of your favorite color. All of these things trigger something in the brain. Pharmaceutical commercials, always light, bright, and even sometimes playful. But the music and the person reading the script is soft and gentle. Why? Because they're trying to build trust with you today. They're trying to build trust. And if you hear that soft, quiet, sweet, feminine voice, that nurturing spirit reminding you of mama, reminding you of grandma, Nana, then you can trust what this voice is telling you about this particular prescription, this medication. All right. Even though what they're telling you right now for these next 30 seconds is going to be absolutely catastrophic. That under normal circumstances, if someone walked to you up on the street, a stranger, and said these things to you, you'd be ready to defend yourself. But because the sweet, soft, gentle, feminine voice of your mama, of your grandmama, of your nana, you trust. And remember, now, if you guys were like me, I know everyone's childhood was different, but if your childhood was similar to mine in that my mama read us bedtime stories, she read us everything from Dr. Seuss to Mother Goose to Brothers Grimm, you name it, we went there, okay? But sometimes the stories will get a little rough. Like one of my favorite stories, which was the Three Billy Goats Gruff. Now, the Three Billy Goats Gruff had a picture in it. And in this picture book, it showed the troll under the bridge. And the troll looked kind of scary. I ain't going front. The troll was scary. I'm a little boy, so I'm a little concerned about this troll under the bridge. And it showed you the little Billy Goats. Now, unfortunately, the story gets a little rough. Now, for a little tot like myself, I probably would have wet the bed had she read it like, and the big Billy Goat thrashed and gashed and bashed the troll away, and his guts spilled out all over the place, and there was blood and pus, and rah! I probably would have went to bed that night. But no, that's not how Mama did it. Mama said, now, the big Billy Goat came, and when he came, the troll thought that he had to drop on the Billy Goat. But this Billy Goat, he was time enough for the troll. What he didn't know is that this Billy Goat, he don't play that. Nah, he built different. He about that action. He's with the its. He's gang gang. So he thrashed the troll. The end. Now see, when Mama say it like that, I have a good sleep. I'm good to go. You see the difference? Voice inflection, vocal tone, and volume have a lot to do with the psyche and how you receive what's being said to you. I'll give you another example. Think of it like this. It's really simple when you break it down. Think of how you would respond. If I said to you, hey, yo, Dirt, pass me that umbrella right there, man. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. And then you hand me the umbrella. But how would you feel if I was like, yo, Dirt, hand me the umbrella? You would think something about that. You'd be like, yo, hold on. Why is Dex talking to me so rough? What's up with the bass in his voice? What's going on? See the difference? See how I got a different reaction? Yo, Dirt, give me the umbrella. Versus, hey, yo, Dirt, man, can you give me the umbrella right there? See the big difference? The tone. So in these commercials, that's what they're playing at. They know that what they're saying to you is going to turn you off and make you run in the opposite direction when they start talking about the side effects. That's why they got your mama and your grandmama, your nana, your auntie to read it to you like this. Side effects may include an STD. You may get gout, It may cause bloating. Your arms and legs may fall off. You might have a heart attack or a stroke. If you're pregnant, you should not take this because your child may be born without a heart or born without kidneys or lungs. Please talk to your doctor before you take this medicine. Oh, and by the way, it's probably not a good idea that you drink and drive and take other drugs like street drugs when you take this medication. Have a nice day. Now, see, when you hear that, you're thinking, I understand that you got side effects, but because Nana told me that it ain't nothing to worry about, what? Stop. She didn't tell you there was nothing to worry about. Yes, she did. She just said, no, she didn't say that. That's how your brain interpreted what she said. When she said that this medication may cause your untimely death, she didn't say, oh, but it's rare. Now, sometimes they do say, some side effects are rare, but they have occurred, such as death and such as causing you to, get hit by a bus because you were caught sleepwalking after you took the medication. It's how they say it. So that's the deceptiveness and buyer beware tactics of business in America. Everything's let the buyer beware, but they don't just stop there. They don't just have the speed reading at the end of an automobile commercial or the sweet grandma reading you all the deadly side effects of this medication. But then they have another facet of the deception, and that is called the fine print. The old saying, the devil's in the details. The devil is surely in the details. 9 times out of 10, and before you sign anything in America, you basically have to have your attorney sitting right there beside you. Straight up. Now, you may laugh and chuckle a bit, but this is real talk. It's so real that your boy Harlan Stonecipher came out with prepaid legal services for that same reason. Because he realized that, all this paperwork, everything, somebody always wants you to sign something. They want you to read and sign and date something. And you 9 times out of 10, you don't have any idea what you're reading and signing and dating. You ain't no lawyer. You haven't been trained in law. You don't know nothing about law. But yet they want you to sign a legal document. Please read and sign. You can read all you want. It doesn't mean you comprehend what you read. You don't know about legalese. You don't know about all this fine print until you sign. And then after you sign and get into the contract, as time has passed, you really realize what you signed. You see, when you went ahead and signed for that new car loan and you drove off with that car, what you didn't quite interpret when you read paragraph 9 was that the seller of the car gets to knock on your door at 6 o'clock in the morning and punch you in the face every day that you're late with your car payment. Now, you think that you got a leg to stand on. No, he punched me in my face. He knocked on my door, Your Honor, and punched me in my face. That's why we're here today. And then the judge looks at you and laughs and says, did you not read this contract? Yeah, I read the contract. Yeah, but it said here that you waived all of your rights to sue and that it's okay for him to punch you in your face every day at 6 a.m. that you're late with your car payment. So it's nothing that I can do. I have to throw out the case. Case dismissed. That's right. Now, you say this is not fair. This is not right. But you signed it, though. Yeah, but I signed it because I was desperate. I needed a car to get to work. I understand your reasonings, but you still signed it. Therefore, more punches are coming. I suggest you go ahead and pay this man his money. I suggest you go out and see this man. All right, you need to leave the courtroom. Y'all need to go out there. You need to holler at this man Because if not, tomorrow at 6 a.m., it's going to be a knock at the door. And he's going to punch you in your face again. Okay? That's America for you. And then people say, well, he should have read it. But again, he's not a lawyer. He didn't understand the legalese that was mentioned in the contract. He didn't understand. Because that's not how they say what they say. They use words that are not part of the everyday English language to say it. All right? It may say something like, failure to make payment in a timely fashion may cause the possibility of jawbone dislocation or fragmentation. You're like, what? And then they'll add of the chassis of the back tire. And you'd be like, oh, okay, it's talking about, okay, that must be some kind of auto thing. It must have some, but no, it meant your jawbone, buddy. It meant he's going to punch you in your face. But that's not how it worded, though. Okay? Oh, and then the next paragraph says, may cause severe drop kickage to back of brain. And then they'll say something like, if you don't put antifreeze in when you're supposed to. They'll be like, oh, okay, it's talking about antifreeze. Okay, whatever. That's weird, but okay. And then when he back brain drop kicks you every day that you're late with the payment, you're like, hey, why did he drop kick me in the back of my head like that? Well, you signed for it. You agreed to this. It doesn't matter that you didn't understand what was said. Now, we laugh and say all this in jest, but this reminds me of a reality. I think it was it Amazing Stories? You guys can let me know if I'm off here. Remember, and there was one story where they had a smoking cessation program. And so they was like, we guarantee 100% success rate or your money back. We guarantee you will stop smoking when you take this smoking cessation program. And so the guy gets on the program and he's like, I don't understand how they have, 100% success rate. So he they get him involved, and it's not until after he gets into it that he realizes why they have a 100% success rate in their smoking cessation program. And the reason is because the smoking cessation program is ran and operated by the mob. And what they don't know is Uncle Vinny is literally hiding in your closet. He's posted up in your closet so that every time you take a puff of that cigarette when you're not supposed to, he gonna punch you in your face. That's why they have a 100% success rate, is because they torture their customers until they get to the point where they're done with smoking. 100%. Again, the small print, the devil's in the details. All right, so we've been on here for a minute. I think I've exhausted all of my content for the day. But I do want to mention something that I found that was really interesting. Now, we got wars and rumors of wars going on, right? All this economic uncertainties happening in the markets. And we got the war in Ukraine. If all this is happening, then why is China telling the U.S. to stop plundering Syria? What in the world is going on here? Well, it's because while you're looking one way, they're operating in the other way. Or how about this? According to a new analysis that provides the first assessment of nations' liability in fueling the climate crisis, the United States has more than $1.9 trillion in damage to other countries as a result of its greenhouse gas emissions. The massive volume of greenhouse gases emitted by the U.S., the world's largest historical emitter, has caused so much harm to other mostly poor countries through heat waves, crop failures, and other consequences Therefore, the U.S. was responsible for $1.91 trillion in lost global income since 1990. The economic damage caused by top gas emitters between 1990 and 2014, the U.S. tops the list at 1.9 trillion. China is second at 1.83 trillion. Russia is third, 986 billion. India is fourth at 809 billion, and fifth is Brazil at $528 billion. These five countries are responsible for a total of $6 trillion of economic losses, equivalent to 11% of annual global GDP since 1990. There is this huge inequity. Countries like the U.S. have disproportionately damaged low-income countries in the global South and disproportionately benefited cooler, higher-income countries in the global North. And that is by Justin Mankin, a geographer at Dartmouth. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of things going on. While you're looking one way, they're operating in the opposite direction. Finally, there's widespread concerns about the economy and inflation, which have contributed to a decidedly gloomy national mood, both on Biden and the nation's trajectory. Did you know that 64% of Democratic voters don't want Biden to run for the 2024 presidential campaign? Only 13% of Americans believe that the country is on the right track, the lowest rate in Times polling in a decade. Only 26% of Democratic voters said the party should re-nominate him in the 2024 elections. In a survey, 94% of Democrats under the age of 30 said they prefer different presidential nominees. More than two-thirds of independents disapprove of Biden's performance, and nearly half disapprove strongly. Biden's approval rating is 70% among Democrats, which is considered by the New York Times a low figure for a president. About 1 in 8 Democrats said they wanted someone new as a president, and 1 in 10 said Biden is not progressive enough. That's 27% of Democrats deemed the country on the right track. Abortion was rated as the most important issue for 5% of voters, 1% women, and 9% men. Ouch. Sucks to be him right now if you are thinking about running for another term in election as president. Ouch, 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 and more ouch. Moreover, I think that it's time that the nation had a real conversation about his health. I do not believe that he is healthy. I believe they're propping him up and ignoring it at every turn. It's too bad because instead of really getting the help that he needs, they're sweeping it under the rug and pretending that it's not real. It doesn't matter. So I guess whatever, right? And finally, piggybacking on what we said before about your boy Netflix, I don't know if they're going to be around much longer. I think that maybe Amazon will buy them up, snatch them up. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. And if that wasn't bad enough, well, we got even bigger issues on the horizon, but you'll have to wait for the next edition of your Post-Wave Report because I'm out of here. Now, we need to get these likes up. How do I only have one like? That doesn't make any sense. You're saying only one person is listening to me? So my only subscriber, my only listener right now is the CIA? Dun-dun-dun. That must have been over some people's head. That was a little inside joke. Remember the movie Conspiracy Theorist? Where his like one main subscriber was the CIA. Anyway, I'm out of here, man. Hopefully you guys got something out of today. It's time. It's time. Remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. And I'm out. See you guys this evening with another report. And I'm out. Purge.